Yes, welcome to TV Metro Mail, and you are watching Chit Chat. And I am Imamul Haq. I'm very honored today to have a very special guest. My guest today is Mohammad Ehsan. Mohammad Ehsan is a politician. He has been involved in politics for quite a long time. He has been involved in community work as well, and he teaches politics and public administration at various universities. Mohammad Ehsan, welcome to our show. Welcome to TV Metro Mail.
Thank you so much for having me in your program.
As I have said already, that you are very much engaged in community work and politics. Uh, Before we go into other details, would you please give us some idea about your riding from which you are running election for councillor, and you tell us something about yourself. Then we'll move to some other issues. Thank you.
Sure. Well, I am running in the municipal elections. It's the Halifax Regional Municipality, and particularly in District 10, which is composed of sort of 25,000 people live in this district, with 18,000 plus or minus voters out of those 25,000 people. It's composed of various neighborhoods. Obviously, as the third tier of local or third tier of government here, it sort of represents few provincial ridings as well. And with amalgamations that happened in the 90s and 80s, the shape and size of the local governments have changed. So because of that, the size of each and every district in HRM is quite large. And so what happens, it's a combination of different neighborhoods, in particular Fairview, Old Clayton Park, Rockingham, Kearney Lake, and sections of Birch Cove. So people with different needs and different aspirations and and priorities. So that's about the district. And in general, if you ask me about myself, yeah. I teach politics, as you mentioned, politics and public administration management courses in a few universities in Nova Scotia. And I have been doing that for some time. I mean, teaching politics is interesting, and that also encourages you to stay engaged in the community too, I guess.
So, when did you get involved in politics and the community works? What attracts you in politics?
Well, it's, I'm talking to you from my study room here, and when I work here, I see seniors every day. I see seniors from my window, through my window. I see seniors. It's a steep hill sort of Fairview area, so they are taking risk, walking up and down. And if you think about the winter, it's pretty risky. No sidewalks on my street, so. On a daily basis, I feel that something should be done. Now, talking about when I started about politics or started staying engaged in or getting involved in politics, I first got involved in politics at my college level, where I participated in student elections, and after that, I guess I remained engaged, and obviously that was in Bangladesh a long time ago, I guess. And in Canada, when I moved to Canada, I, not only myself, but my family, my kids, we all have been always engaged in the community, helping with different initiatives. And as a new Canadian, I would say that what makes you you have a sense of belonging when you stay engaged in the community in every way possible. And again, I mean, you have your theoretical issues like teaching politics, and then doing something on a daily basis in the community. That sort of, that theory and practical side, mixing and matching together. That's
Yeah.
fun.
So since you are teaching, politics and you are practicing as well, so that complements each other definitely, because what you see in the field, so that helps you to, bring to your students in the classroom. And again, in the classroom, theoretically, what you are, studying or what you are teaching, you can implement those in the field. That's what you're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a sense of, you teach people or teach students how to do stuff, and then you have an opportunity to do those yourselves. So
Yeah.
that's a fulfilling sort of feeling.
Okay. As you are saying that you started, your interest in politics started back in, many years ago when you were a student of a college. So, and you were in Bangladesh. So you moved to Canada. Has your perception of politics changed during this time? Because you started your politics engagement in politics in Bangladesh, and you moved to Canada, and two different countries, two different, political structure. So how do you see that?
It would be generalization if I sort of, broadly brush developing countries and developed countries politics. But when I think about it, it's Noam Chomsky's book, and one of the books come to my mind, Profit Over People. Though he talks about capitalism, but here politics, I say people over people over profit. So it's all about people here in Canada. And not that it's not about people in developing countries, but at the same time, you have different cases of mismanagement, corruption, and different other issues that happens all quite often. And I can give you an example to highlight the differences. When I was doing my or writing my or doing my doctoral field research, PhD field research in Bangladesh and India, I interviewed member of parliaments in both the countries. In Bangladesh, I have noticed that those who have been in politics or who have been a member of parliament for 3 decades long, their perception of getting or staying engaged in politics or becoming an MP, doing something in the community is definitely different than a new MP whose intention might not be necessarily be all people oriented. The self-interest might work a bit there too. I think people-centered policies is what I see as the main difference between my Canadian experience and places in other countries. And you do what's needed for people and resolve the issues that they have. That's the main issue here.
Thank you very much. Ehsan, I think when we discuss about politics and when we ask something about politics to politicians, they always say or they always mention that they always put people first. And this is people-centered. But unfortunately, we have experienced politics in different part of the world are different. And the way politicians, say something and the way they practice things are different, unfortunately, particularly in developing countries. I understand that. I have a very specific question about people, but before going into that, I would like to ask you that from your last experience, how you are you doing anything different from your last experience to make your campaign effective?
Yes, I would say that I ran in the municipal elections last time back in 2016, and I was a late entrant, a candidate in the elections, and just going into the elections a month before the exact date or exact election day, just wanting to spread my name because I knew that I am going to run again, so I wanted my name to be out. And obviously, the district has been led by Councillor Russell Walker, who has been there leading lots of changes in the district in the last 27 years, and he has done tremendously good job. So he was he obviously is very respectable and has done very good job here. So by no means I went into the elections trying to beat him probably, but this time he's not reoffering, and his family members are supporting me. So I'm hopeful that not only for that, but because I remained engaged in in community activities in the last 4 years. I participated in different activities, initiatives in the district. I joined. I worked for the boards and different nonprofits here in District 10, and took initiatives that's necessary even during the COVID. That I'm my name and I'm more recognized this time. So that's a big difference between the two different elections, I would say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ehsan. So, with regard to that, the question about people, because be it in politics or any development work, whenever we talk about those, I think as I said, that we know that people are very important. We need to mobilize people. We need to engage them in the process. So, what are the strategies do you think, as an academician or as a politician, that we need, that we can mobilize people for, your effective campaign, or any particular issue that you need to, address even after election? If you, come out as a successful candidate, what are the strategies or the measures that you would like to take to mobilize people in specific, addressing specific issues?
Your question basically has two segments. One is about what can be done or what is happening during this pandemic, campaign related. The other one is how you involve people in politics, especially at the community, at the third tier, like municipal level. Obviously, everything is upside down right now during this pandemic. And just to give you an example, I mean, I declared my candidacy in March, and just before the lockdown. So the intention was to do campaignings or start campaigning very early, because you can do that from March onward. But that definitely didn't happen. And with different regulations in place right now, or expectations at the door, you cannot really do regular sort of campaigning really. So this time, a bit of focus is on electronic ways of reaching out to people. Obviously, 2 months left. Door knocking is the the only way you can reach out to people, because people want to talk to you. I mean, they have multiple options, so they need to sort of get a sense of who they like, and that's very important, because see, sometimes at the municipal level we talk about platform ideas, and you're thinking about municipal issues. I mean, it's not partisan politics that there is a platform per se, but even at this level, you can give a brief about your beliefs and values that you bring to politics, and that's the main sort of important issue. But the expectation is that there should be a platform, so candidates bring up with different ideas that they want to implement. But at the end of the day, the most important thing at the municipal level is that you are just one of the votes in a 17-member municipal or regional council in HRM. And no matter what issue you bring to the council, you have to be qualified enough to go and talk to other councillors and convince them that this is something that is necessary in your district. So it's more important that that you are capable enough to convince them, get the support of your colleagues in implementing policies, or accepting policies by the HRM. So that's one thing. Campaigning is a bit different. this time. And obviously, when we go to the door, we have face masks and we maintain the distance, and we try to make it as safe as possible. And in terms of what do you do at the municipal level, I think my approach has been that I always talk about empowering citizens at the municipal level, because this is a grassroots level government, and the closest government to the people. So anything and everything that happens at the municipal level affect people every day on a daily basis. So even though unfortunately the interest is less for people to get involved in municipal politics, the voter turnout is really not as say Canada-wide, the average is 33 to 36% voter turnout in municipal elections. So that's not too promising. The last time in 2016 elections in District 10 or HRM in particular, the voter turnout was close to 30%. So we always want that to change, and we encourage people to participate. I mean, it's if we don't get involved, then we cannot make changes in public policies that affect us regularly. So I think my approach, the last point that I would like to add to this point is that if I get elected, I plan to have town hall meetings in different neighborhoods. There are 4 or 5 neighborhoods in my district. So I'm going to have regular town hall meetings in those districts. The idea is to have heard people's voices, and they have ideas. Different communities will tell me what can be done, what should be done, and you take those ideas to the council. So it's take the government back to the people, make people empowered so that their voices are heard.
So you mean that you always prefer to have a consultative process so that people are engaged in the whole process? That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, yeah. It should be much more collaborative decision making at the grassroots levels, and it's important because these decisions are affecting people directly on a daily basis. So that's how I approach local decision makings at the municipal level. And look at the COVID situation too. I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that the municipal revenue has been affected by COVID to a great extent. And now municipalities, being the creatures of the provincial governments, you have to get the support from the federal government too, and there are certain regulatory limitations as well. But my view is that we should have collaborative sort of approach among the 3 tiers of government, because without collaboration, the economy is not going to get into its fate and get back to the normalcy, because it's not sustainable if we sort of deal with our economic challenges right now. And for those challenges to be resolved, we need all tiers of government to get involved, helping the municipalities.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ehsan. Since you are an academician, you are teaching politics and public administration in different universities, and at the same time, you are practicing politics, you are in the field. Based on these 2 kind of experience, what suggestion or recommendation do you have for people or youngsters, those who like to come to politics in future?
I think the exercise, the concept, the notion of politics, the students have to be introduced to this notion of politics at the school level. And the first sort of group of students that I see are in high schools who get involved. Certain number of students get involved in politics. Our public representatives also show some interest in going there and talking to them about different aspects of politics or things that affect the students. And obviously there is a big debate about who can vote in elections. Should 18 years or 16 years be allowed to vote? So those are different issues that are still there. But I am hopeful that if they are exposed to the ideas of politics and community services, more and more students will get involved, and we are doing reasonably okay in terms of doing that in Canada.
Okay, thank you very much. The last question, because since you are a candidate right now, you're in the middle of your campaign. So, what do you think? Why people should vote for you? So, do you have any specific pitch that you like to make today?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, residents in District 10, they have few candidates vying for their support, and I think that it's not. We should look at the candidates, obviously, qualifications and their record of involvement in the community, and whether they are capable of doing the job at the municipal level effectively. You can make promises, different issues can be said, but if there's a saying in politics that if you are in politics, people will really understand that whether you are in politics for supporting or resolving issues of people, or are you there for some other reasons. So I think that passion is there for me to do something in the community, and because I have been staying involved in politics, but the reason I'm running is that there's not much you can do staying in the sidelines. So you have to do something. You have to be in the policy process to do something more. So I think I offer my ideas and platforms for the district. It covers different economic issues. I have plans for the environment. There are certain issues in different areas. I want to take the government to the people. There are issues surrounding how to help our seniors and differently able people, how to make the government, local government, much more smarter and human, because there are so many issues. And for me, it's not about the level of government. If you might be a councillor, you might be an MLA, but if residents in your riding is affected by something, it's the representatives' jobs to help them, and they might not be able to know where to go, but if they are in front of you and they need help, you go and help them. You talk to the MP, you talk to the MLA, and try to help them. That's the main issue for me.
Thank you very much. And most importantly, that, as you said, that the passion is there. So when passion is there, it is very likely that you will be successful, or you will be making things very effective.
I hope so.
Okay, thank you very much, Mohammad Ehsan. Thank you very much for joining us here today. Thank you very much, viewers, for being with us and watching this program. As we understand today from Mohammad Ehsan, that if you have a passion, you should definitely get into this business, whichever area you are passionate about. And if you really want to make a big difference in people's life, or if you really want to fix any social issues to make people's life better, politics could be one of the option, definitely powerful option. Thank you very much for watching our program. And Mohammad Ehsan, thank you very much. And viewers, we'll see you again in our next episode with a new guest. Until then, please take care, stay well. Thank you.
Thank you.